Hi. Welcome back to my channel. Hi. I'm not smiling so much today because I'm not in a good mood. I've just been watching the Thomas Markle interview. Thomas Markle, he's Meghan Markle's father. He did an interview with 60 Minutes. I'm just gonna pull it up on my computer. He did an interview with 60 Minutes. I'll play some of the audio, but I won't play any video of it. I've got to go to YouTube to show it to you so that we can listen to it together. And then I'm going to be doing my reaction to it. Okay, so welcome, whoever is on. It's not a planned live. I'm right. Let me look for it. Thomas Markle interview. But it just made me sad. Of what really happened. So basically, Thomas Markle has a message for his daughter Megan in an exclusive interview. And the program is by 60 Minutes Australia. So the hi Richard. Thomas Markle is Meghan Markle's father. And Meghan Markle is Harry's wife. And Harry is the grandson of the Queen of England. Yeah, her dad. It was so sad. So basically, he's done this interview, and it almost made me cry. I'm just gonna play it for you, and it will help you understand. We're gonna see if we understand. So, right, let me play some of it first.
Meghan never met Harry.
No, I can't really say that. I mean, if she met him and she really loves him,
Thank you,
I
Richard.
support her 100%. I just don't think they're taking the
Thanks
right
for all your
path.
compliments.
Don't know what their ultimate plan is, but everything they're doing right now seems to be going against public opinion.
What he's saying at the moment, that the man asked him, do you wish Harry and Meghan never met? And he says, of course not, because none of us love the terracotta colors. Thanks, Richard. None of us wish that they didn't meet, because everybody wants and deserves a love story. So nobody wishes that Harry didn't meet Meghan. Well, okay, no. I shall go back on that comment. I'm sure there are a few people who wish that Harry never met Meghan. I can probably name a few in the royal family. I can name a few of my friends, and I think probably me too. Now, I wish they never met because of all the trouble that it's caused. And in my view, I am a bit biased that it's caused Harry, even though he doesn't realize it, and the royal family. But Meghan's father says that he doesn't mind that they met. But what he's saying is that the interview that they're doing goes against normal public opinion, which is true. But the sad part about his interview is that he has not spoken to Meghan or Harry in 3 years. They've had this baby about a week ago or so. And I know he's got children now, but do you really cut off your own family? I know some people can, but it's weird to me because my dad died when I was 12 and I couldn't possibly, and my mom is still alive. I'm a family oriented person. I can't possibly imagine any circumstance unless they kill somebody where I would actually never speak to my father again if he was alive. Like, you would have to really do something terrible, like be a, like the P word, those people that mess about with children, or be a R word, those people that mess around with women, or, you'd have to do something that goes against absolute morality. Then I will cut off ties with you. All he did was like take, of course, the fallout is for real. You don't, somebody said, Richard said, is the fallout for real? Of course it's for real. You don't not see your grandchild and not see your child for 3 whole years as theater. The fallout is real on Meghan's part because she thinks that her father did a bad thing by talking to some press people before the wedding when he was trying to prepare for the wedding. I think he went and staged some pictures or whatever, whatever. This is a man that has never been, I'm used to dealing with royalty. He was hounded by the paparazzi, basically, and they managed to find some pictures of him preparing for, I think, buying clothes, but it was something ridiculous, like buying clothes or taking pictures or whatever. Okay, yeah, it was against the advice that they gave him, but is that a reason to not talk to him for 3 years? The fallout between Harry and the royal family is theater, in my view. So that man did those pictures and they fell out with him for 3 years. What did the royal family do that made them fall out with them? Apparently, they stopped her from going out. They didn't help her when she had this supposed nervous breakdown or whatever. But they seem to just cut people off. And this is what he's saying here. He's saying they cut him off just the way they've cut the royal family off, just the way they cut him off. Let's listen to this bit. It's important.
The only person benefiting from this is Oprah Winfrey.
He blames Oprah.
Is exploiting Harry and Meghan?
Yes, I do.
He thinks Oprah is exploiting Harry and Meghan to try and reinvent her own career. I don't know how far true that is, but I just know that it's really, really weird that Harry all of a sudden is going to therapy on television. Like I saw it online. Harry is doing therapy on television. Can you imagine? He's been reduced. This is a Harry that everybody used to look up to, like the Queen's grandson. He was in the British, was he in the British Air Force or the British Army? He used to fly an Apache helicopter and everything. And now he's regressing and saying he's in therapy. He remembers being treated badly by his father. He's really dragging everybody under the mud. So Meghan Markle thinks that Oprah is using them. Let's listen to what he's saying. It was a sad interview.
No, I don't know if I get sued for that or not, but that's just my opinion. It seems to me that she's pushing it to get more and more out of it, and Apple stock is going up. Her shows.
So basically, he's saying that Oprah is pushing them to go more and more to say more and more. Hi. It was the army, Double D. Thank you. So Oprah, how are you? Happy Sunday. Yes, it's still Sunday. So Oprah, basically, he believes that Oprah is pushing them to do all these interviews. Bye, Richard. Bye, Richard. Oprah is pushing them to do all these interviews to reinvent her career, and her stocks are going up, is what he's saying. But I want to wait for the meat of the story where he's talking about Meghan.
To have someone bare their soul on 4 or 5 different shows to 50 or 60 million people, even Dr. Phil wouldn't do that.
Have you watched?
That's true. Dr. Phil would never do
some of it, yeah.
Therapy. Most real therapists will not do therapy on camera.
First show was her ratings went up 20%.
She's trying to be an Iyanla Van Sant, like using Meghan and Harry, in my view.
She gives Harry money and Meghan money, but I don't think it compensates for.
He thinks they're being paid.
I haven't. I'm waiting for them to get to me.
So basically, he thinks that they're being used, and I will show you here because of copyright. I can't show too much, but basically, that's a picture of him and Meghan when they were young, when she was young. So basically, he looked after her all her life. Here is another one. Here is another one here. And when he said that when she was born, she was born by cesarean section, and he was the first person to grab the baby and put the baby on his chest. And we can see from all the pictures that they have that he was really a doting father. And look at her, she's smiling here. Can you see? He was really a doting father, or is still a doting father. And he has a heart problem. And they've basically decided that they're never going to speak to him again. They've not spoken to him for 3 years since the wedding. He's not seen his two grandchildren face to face. Who does that to their dad? Meghan. Is this the behavior of a good person? What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Is this the behavior of a good Double D, what do you think? Is this the behavior of a good person? To just cut out your dad? Let's forget about the money. We know that she doesn't need him for money. We know that she doesn't need her family for money. But does she think that they're going to embarrass her? Does she think that they're going to somehow smear her credibility? I don't understand what she's running away from. All he did was be nice to her. But she's cut him off. Right, let's hear what else he has to say.
At this point, I don't know their number. And like, I left a letter for Oprah with my phone number and email, and I said, give me a chance to tell my story. Otherwise, I wish Harry and Meghan and Archie and hopefully my new granddaughter all the love and best wishes in the world.
So, sorry, you've written to Oprah.
Yes, I dropped off a letter at her guardian asking for equal time. I said it's not fair to tell this story without hearing my story.
So basically, he asks Oprah for an opportunity to say his side of the story. He's saying that he wishes them well and that he wants them to contact him when they have time or at any point, and they haven't. Okay, so he's now living in Mexico on his own, a few hours away from where they live. He could understand when they were in England that you can't just jump on a plane and come and see him or whatever. But well, they could because they have the money to, but they didn't, and he doesn't hold it against them. But now they're just a few hours away, and they won't go and see him. Like, even if it's just give him 1 hour to touch his grandchildren and to just see them face to face. This man has a heart disease, and it said that most of the Markle men don't live beyond 80, and he's 76. So his view is that he only has probably between now and 4 years. But then why am I being emotional? Because to be honest, they didn't even fly to London to come and see Prince Philip when he was sick. But I guess they couldn't because of Corona, right? But I wonder if there was no Corona, would they have come? Nobody knows that, so we can't speculate. But the world is opened up now. They should be able to go and see the poor man and just let him take some pictures with his grandkids and let the grandkids see their grandfather. It's not even fair on the children not to see their own grandfather. You know, they're not even thinking about the children themselves. So the man is really deeply hurt. Let's hear more of what he has to say.
Do you think she saw the letter and just thought, I don't want to hear from you?
Probably, I think she's started to Harry about that. I think Harry's being put in a position where he's saying things he'll never be able to take back.
He's saying Harry's been put in a position where he's saying things
There's every
he'll never
chance
be
Harry
able
and
to
Meghan
take
will end
back.
up watching this
Look
interview.
at where he lives
what
now.
do you think will be going through their minds watching you speak?
Well, I'm hoping they'll get what I'm saying.
Look at him.
I'm not attacking Oprah, but I really think Oprah is taking advantage of Harry. It just seems to me she keeps encouraging him to do another show and tell something terrible about the royals. sense at all, first of all.
You know, so he's saying that Oprah is just making new programs every day and making Harry just say some dig up some more debt about the royals. So basically it's like um it's like debt on the royals, the series, you know, debt as in DIRT, mud on let's hit mud on the British Royal Institution, um the series. Oprah is making it into a series. Hi, Demetrius. Oprah is making it into a series. Like Dig the Debt on the Royals, a mini series by the Oprah Network. And every time Harry comes on, he's doing something crazy and saying crazy stuff about the father who actually walked Meghan down the aisle when Thomas couldn't make it. You know, and even when the father had the heart attack, she never went to visit him. She never went to visit her own father when he had his heart attack. And after the heart attack, she never went. Man, how cold! That is cold as ice. That is cold as ice, man. She must have ice flowing in her veins. Yes, Demetrius. She must have ice flowing in her veins. Because if your father, who you took all those pictures with, I will leave the link of this interview in the description so you can see it by yourself, then you would understand what I'm saying. The man has receipts. He has pictures of her as a baby. He has videos of her growing up. He was a Hollywood set manager or something, lighting manager. So he used to make videos of Meghan all the time. There's so many videos of him, you know, taking her to dance classes. There are videos of him, you know, preparing for her birthday parties. So many things he did for her. And then as soon as she met the royal family and met Harry, she just blanks him. And now he's done an interview, and I don't blame him. I actually don't blame him for doing this interview. Some people will say, why is he doing the interview? It's going to cause more strife. But man, he has to be documented as saying what he feels so that when he dies or if he drops dead at any point, at least there's documents there there's a video there to show how he felt. So that when those grandchildren become 18, they can see that their grandfather wanted to see them. You know, that's what I feel. So he should do the interviews, is what I feel. You know, they're busy doing interviews everywhere, saying bad things about everybody, even about him. It made me so sad to see this man. Right, let me listen to some of what he's saying and we can.
I think deserves tremendous respect.
And basically, that's another thing. He's saying that even the Queen does not deserve it. This poor woman is 96 years old. Her husband just died. She's been carrying the weight of this country all her life. Please, Meghan and Harry, give her, let her just enjoy the last years of her life in peace. Stop doing interviews. Stop this Oprah Winfrey nonsense. Let's even forget about Meghan Markle. Look at Thomas Markle. Go and visit your grandfather, fine. Or go and visit your father, fine. But if you don't want to visit him, fine. But please stop heaping more and more controversy on this poor little old lady who had to sit on her own in that church that day to bury her husband. Harry, stop it. I don't know. He has been convinced that, oh, they killed his mother when she was going out with a black man or for a non-white person. And so he's convinced that, well, he's not convinced. Meghan has convinced him that they're going to come after her because she's not white. So Meghan is, as, excuse my language, I'm going to swear, effed up his head absolutely completely. He really believes that they're going to kill Meghan. He believes it. When I saw him on the opera couch, yeah, I saw a snippet of it. I didn't watch all of it. When I saw him, Demetrius, Meghan is the villain. I know people don't agree. Some people don't, but she is the villain. What I haven't worked out yet is whether she actually knows she's being a villain or whether she has some kind of opathy, like sociopathy or narcissism, because narcissists don't always know they're narcissists, right? I wonder if there's some kind of what's the word? Mental health kind of issue that she's not aware of that's making her behave in this way. But she is the villain. Whether she's doing it on purpose or not, I don't know. So yes, Dimitri said, I think toxic people don't know when they're being. That's what I am saying. She is the villain, but I don't know if she's doing it on purpose. It's kind of a weird way for me to say she's a villain, but she might not be a villain because she might not know she's being narcissistic, but she's showing a mental pathology somewhere. She's showing a mental, it's like the people who commit those P crimes against children. People think, oh, why are you being a P? But they have a pathology in their head which makes them have those irrational feelings that make them commit those crimes. So it's an illness which should be punished, rightly so, but it has to be an illness because normal people don't do things like that, is what I think. And then Dimitri says sometimes they do know when they're being toxic, and when you know that they do know but sometimes they do, and when you know that they know what they're doing, then give them the boot. Exactly. When you know that they know what they're doing, then give them the boot. Now, I think Meghan knows what she's doing by manipulating Harry, but I don't think she bargained for this kind of outcome. I don't think she understands how bad it can get, right? If she continues on this path. Yeah. Harry did not meet Meghan's father before the wedding. He's the victim of coercive Exactly. He's never met her father. He has never met her father. Yes, I'm correct. And Meghan and Oprah are using him. I know. And Thomas is very intelligent. Harry needs to wake up. And this is why I can't be angry with Harry, even though everybody's saying he's weak, he's this, he's that. Yes, he is. But he's under mind control, almost a form of hypnosis. He needs to be saved. He's almost under, exactly. She's self-victimizing herself to justify everything, exactly. And she's gaslighting the F out of Harry. And when you look at Harry now in those therapy sessions, and doing those interviews with Oprah, he looks like a shadow of himself. And I saw one person said, Meghan has basically turned a prince into a frog. Where normally frogs turn into princes, she has successfully turned a prince into. He is under the spell of not just a beautiful woman, because no matter how I don't like her, she's beautiful, right? But under the spell of a beautiful, venomous woman. She reminds me, their story reminds me of Samson and Delilah in the Bible. You know, Samson was very strong with the long hair, and Delilah was so beautiful, and they sent Delilah to go and find out the secrets of his strength. And Delilah used her feminine vows to kind of get him to fall in love with her. Samson and Delilah, yeah. And then when he was totally in love and enthralled, she asked him, what's your secret, baby? How do you get your strength? And what did Samson do? who was told never to tell anybody. He was so under the spell. He was like, oh yeah, it's my hair. It's never been cut. And then what did Delilah do? She went and told the Palestinians or the Philistines or whoever sent her the story. And then they went and did she? I think she even cut his hair while he was asleep. Let me find out. I think she actually cut his hair while he's asleep. That is the worst kind of woman you want to fall in love with. Delilah cuts. Yes. So she married, and Samson married him. How? This is exactly what happened. She put his head on her lap, knowing fully well that that was where his strength was. And this is what she did. She cut the hair. I'm trying to look for the image. She cut the hair, knowing fully well that's where his strength was. And this is exactly, Demetrius, what Megan is doing. It's a form of psychologically cutting of his hair. She has cut him off from his family. She has cut him off from his, look, here we go. Let me show you this image. Look, this is what Delilah did to Samson. She put him on his lap and cut his hair and made him weak. And then he got killed. He died when he pushed the pillars and he got killed. So my fear on record here today, my fear, oh Lord, I can't even bear to think of it. But my fear is that Megan doesn't realize how bad this can get, Dimitri. She's like a pathological witch. Can you guys guess the worst thing that can happen, that is going to happen? I really hope it doesn't, but I really worry for Harry. I worry for Harry, his mental health. I worry for his mental health, and I worry that all these words like somebody's feeling suicidal and this person's feeling suicidal is being thrown around. And in a way, that is a form of grooming for suicide, in my view. If you're always talking about it, putting it in people's head all the time, I hope that she's not planning or by mistake going to do something or make him get to a place where he has to take some kind of terrible action against himself. Because his view would be that he cannot come back home because he's already severed that. And to the royal family, I know nobody watches my video. I only have so many few subscribers. But whoever is watching, if you know the royal family, they should put out a statement that he is always welcome back home. Like he's the prodigal son. You're always welcome back home. Because if he knows he has that outlet and they will let him come back home, then he may not do that horrible action that I'm thinking about. The S word, right? He may not do it. But if he thinks that he doesn't have anywhere to go to, he may do the S word. Now, back to Thomas Markle. I know he wouldn't do the S thing, but I just worry that he may never get a chance to actually see those children before he goes, because he has had problems. I worry that Megan is not going to allow him to ever see those kids until the day he dies. Because they were happy to not come to London, even in the last days of Prince Philip. And one of the exclusions from being told you can't travel in the UK and in America, yes, you're not supposed to travel, but one of the exclusions is if you have mitigating circumstances, like a very sick member of your family. So if Harry really wanted to, he could have used that excuse to come to England to see his grandfather, his grandfather before he died, the Duke. So if they can do that to the Duke, then that means that they will probably do the same thing to Thomas Markle. Let me read your comment. I remember when I was gaslit, it was horrible feeling. And when I came out of it, I obsessed over it until I learned never to let it happen. What does gaslight? I know that we know what gaslighting looks like, but I don't even understand how it will be when you come out. You must have looked at yourself and realized, oh my God, I was under a spell. I was breathing all hard and ish when I came out of it. Yeah. When you realize, when your eyes finally open and you realize the damage you have done, I want the royal family to be prepared to let Harry come back home. They shouldn't just, they should let him know that. And the British public, I know you guys are all angry and you think he's weak and he's a mean person and you all think that he's nasty to say all these bad things about his grandmother. You think he's nasty to say things about his father. But Harry is actually not, he's hypnotized. Harry is emotionally hypnotized at the moment. He is under total mind control. I was looking at their engagement interview, the way she was rubbing his hand and tapping. There is so many ways you can hypnotize people without them knowing it. It is a skill. People learn how to put people under mind control. Even in the army, those kind of technologies are used where they put you under mind control to do things that they want you to do that you would not normally do in your conscious mind. Excuse me, I'm a bit thirsty. So there are ways that the army use mind control, and the soldiers submit themselves to mind control because it's part of their job, to make them not fear as much and to be able to do things that they wouldn't normally do under their normal consciousness for the sake of the country and the world. And those techniques can be used against normal civilians. And I feel Harry is under that kind of mind control. Because I've known him since he was born. I was here when he was born. I watched him grow up. I remember when him and his mother went to Top Park. I remember his life, everything. And the Harry I'm seeing now, and all the things he's recalling, are things that didn't really happen. The Harry I'm seeing now, there's an interview he did with his brother. They were so happy. The childhood he recalled in his own interview with his brother, I'll put it in the description, is completely different from the childhood he's talking about now in the Oprah interview. So he's under mind control. So you guys are angry with him. I know, the British public and everything. But if he ever needs to come back, he should be welcome back. And then he needs therapy now in private to get over this trauma of being married to somebody who had him under mind control. He is being emotionally abused, but he doesn't realize it. Let me read your comment. When you're being gaslighted, it looks like you're saying or thinking something, and then someone says something to make you question yourself. Exactly. So, for example, examples of that gaslighting is things like, oh, I'm black and they're going to kill me, so you have to look after me. Oh, I feel suicidal. She said that to Harry. And Harry said that in the interview, that she feels suicidal, but the only reason she's not going to commit suicide is because she loves Harry. So in a way, she put the responsibility of her life on Harry. So now Harry feels that he cannot do anything because he's afraid for Meghan to die. That is a very nasty position to put anybody. Like, you make them feel like it's their job to keep you alive and they have to do what you want so you don't kill yourself. That's like emotional blackmail 101 of that. That is the PhD of emotional blackmail. I'm gonna kill myself but the only reason I don't want to kill myself is because I love you. So now the poor man has to do whatever she wants, because he's afraid she's going to kill herself. But we all know she's not going to kill herself. She's just using him. And then the most toxic response, somebody says, they always tell you you're tripping or you're mad. Yeah, exactly. They make you feel like you question yourself and your judgment. Exactly. So now she made him feel like his childhood was a painful childhood, when in fact his childhood was a good childhood, and all the things that happened that he never thought were bad things, she's made him think they're all bad things. Like, she's convinced him. Oh my God. Oh my God. She has convinced him that his father, who is a doting father, Prince Charles, let me put it, Prince Charles with Harry, pictures with Harry and William. Look at this poor man. Since they were young. Since they were young. Look at, this is the father with Harry as a young boy. Harry is smiling there. Smiling. He was happy. They were happy. So for him to just now suddenly start making videos on Oprah saying that they were bad, I don't understand that. Right? Yeah, they were very happy. So let's listen to Thomas Markle, because I don't want us to forget Thomas. The reason why I'm going back is because everybody talks about Harry, everybody talks about Meghan, everybody talks about the royal family, everybody talks about who's bad or who's good or blah blah blah. But everybody forgets about Thomas Markle. Hey God, oh Jesus. I have 3 sons and I have 1 daughter. Lord, please don't let my children meet any woman that is going to turn them against me, in Jesus' name. Amen. Don't let my children meet any man that is any woman that is going to turn them against me, in Allah's name. Amen. Don't let my children meet anybody that is going to teach my children that I am their enemy, by the name of Buddha. Amen. Buddha, Allah, all of you. I'm praying to all the gods. What? What? Can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine? Soul Star said gaslighting is manipulating a person by forcing him to question their thoughts and memories. Wow. And the events occurring around them, and the victim questions their sanity. Wow. Challenging their memories, making them feel guilty, to attain complete control over someone's life, including everything they do. This is exactly what is happening. Wow. Wow. I don't know what I would do. Heaven, if you ever get married, please don't let them convince you that I'm your enemy, you know. My doctor said, okay, Mom, I won't let them convince me. Can you imagine? Thomas Markle now has become the enemy. And I wonder the stories that she has told Harry about her father, Thomas Markle. So everybody talks about the royal family. The Queen has Charles to kind of comfort her. Charles has William and Camilla to comfort him. Somebody said, I remember when I was gaslit, I was up at night in my dorm thinking, what's wrong with me? And after me and the person finally confronted each other, they reveled that I was basically right. Yeah, Harry will undergo the same thing. I hope he doesn't commit the S word at some stage. I hope he doesn't drive him that crazy. Because he hasn't even got anybody to call to kind of like, they've kind of cocooned themselves into just the foursome and their staff, but he has nobody to confide in. Demetrius, I'm sure and Soul Star, those of you who have been gaslighted, were you cut away from your support system, right? Because I was told that is usually the tactic. They cut you away from your support system so that they can basically hypnotize you, and they'll make you believe that your support system are your enemy, and then you're on your own. Yeah, they cut you away from your support system. Yep. And that's what she's done. And the poor guy has no chance. But let's go back to Thomas Markle. Charles has Camilla and William. Everybody has somebody, even in their own warped way. Meghan has Harry and Harry has Meghan. Who does Thomas have to comfort him? Who does Thomas Markle have? Doria is not going to comfort him because they're not together. His daughter is not going to comfort him because she's got her own health challenges in her own family. I'm sure they see him, but not all the time. Then he has a son as well. So basically, he's the forgotten grandfather. There's not being given any attention whatsoever. So let's just hear a little bit more about what he said.
World, most of the world loves that woman, and he's saying that she didn't do that much for him. While William said that the Queen stepped in and took Diana's place and became a mother to him.
I didn't even realize that Harry said that the Queen didn't do anything for him. I need to watch the Harry interview. I've not watched the one he did on Oprah because I didn't want to keep following them because I get so emotionally riled up every time I watch them. I get so upset. But apparently he said that the Queen didn't do anything for him. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. The Queen didn't do anything for him. Oh Lordy, it's terrible.
So goal is in all of this?
I don't know. They initially said they wanted to get away from the restrictions of the royals. I'm guessing they came to Hollywood to be in the business, start up a business again. I guess they have something on with Netflix. I'm not sure. They obviously have something on with Oprah.
Thomas Markle keeps blaming Oprah. But I think that Oprah is just as culpable as Meghan in this. And even though Harry is the mouthpiece of the madness at the moment, the madness of smear the royal family campaign, he's like a puppet being used. He's like a puppet on a string. So you see him as the front person saying, oh, my childhood was horrible and blah, blah, blah. But he's the puppet on a string. Why is Oprah not interviewing Meghan to find out about her childhood? Because she knows she can't lie. And the reason they're attacking the royal family is because they know the royal family are never going to reply, because it's just not something that the royal family do. They don't get involved in public tiffs, tit for tat. The time they tried to do that when Prince Charles did the interview to counter what Diana said was the last time they did that kind of tit for tat interview, because it blew up in their faces, and that they just don't operate like that anymore. So before I end, Dimitri said the girl tried to make it seem as though my parents' advice didn't apply to our friendship, even though it was toxic as hell. Yes. And they won't let you spend time with your family. They make you believe you have better things to do than to spend time with your true support system, so that was always there for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's textbook. That's exactly what she's doing, Soul Star. Prince Harry, if you see this, wake up, bro. We don't know if they'll ever see it. Now, please, guys, if you're liking this video, please press the like button and share this video. But I haven't finished, but I'm just reminding you halfway to share, because I always forget to remind people to like and share my videos. It's like, how are you going to grow if you don't tell your subscribers to share and like your video and to subscribe, right? So I still need to grow the channel. But classical narcissist. The poor man. I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad for him. But basically, he's been cut off. And he's done the interview, and all he's saying is that he's leaving an open invitation for them to come and see him whenever they want to see him. He's saying he would like to lay eyes on his grandchildren. Oh my God, I don't want to ever not be able to see my grandchild. Can you imagine not being able to see your grandchildren and your child that you raised for at least the first 20 years of her life until she went to college? The pictures are there, the receipts are there. We can see that he was a good dad. And now she's just cut him off. And then How do you live with that, Meghan and Harry? How do you guys? Oh my God. How do they go to bed at night? When they go to bed at night, is it like, honey, I'm tired of my day, you know, I've just spent the last 4 hours with the lights and all the camera people telling everybody how horrible my grandmother is and how horrible my father is. And they're probably having the game. Was your daddy more horrible than my daddy? And Megan's like, no, my daddy was more horrible than your daddy. Can you imagine the conversations in their house? My daddy is more horrible than your daddy. Can you believe the time your daddy tried to beat you up and this? And she's like, no, I remember the time my daddy had a birthday party for me and I wanted a pink bonnet, but he only gave me a yellow one. And Harry's like, oh, and I remember the time my daddy, I wanted 100,000 pounds to buy a new car, and my daddy only gave me 40,000 pounds. He said, my daddy is so mean. You know, can you imagine the conversations in their house? It's gonna be so ridiculous. My daddy is so mean that he only allowed me to go to the army. My daddy is so mean that, I had the best life ever. But my daddy is more mean than your daddy. And your mommy is so mean. Can you imagine all that? And then when they talk to their grandchildren, yeah, she lived in Canada. When they what do they tell their grandchildren? Mommy and daddy, do we have any grandparents? Mommy and daddy, my friend in school has got a grandmommy and a granddaddy. Where's my grandmommy and where's my granddaddy? And they're gonna be like, oh, your granddaddy and your other granddaddy are really horrible people, and your uncle is a horrible man, and your cousins are horrible people. They're all really racist, and they didn't like mommy and daddy, and they cut us off. And so you can't get to see any of your cousins and any of your family because your granddaddy and your grandmommy. How did they explain that to the kids? Grandparents day at school, no grandparents coming in. Barbecue, only 4 of them. Family holiday, only 4 of them. No grandparents to babysit. They don't get to see their cousins. They don't get to see their cousins on Thomas Markle's side. Those children don't get to see their cousins on the royal side. All they see is mommy and daddy all the time. That's even toxic. Those poor children are probably going to be damaged by this, in my view. So Sosa said, allegedly, my sister knew Marco and she told me that she acted spoiled and that she was a brat. Allegedly, she lived in Canada at the time before the Royals. She used to work at her condo. Wow, I didn't even know that. So your sister knows something. A lot of people have said she was a spoiled brat, and I'll tell you why. Let me get my drink. I will tell you why she was spoiled. I sat and thought about it and I figured out why she is a spoiled brat. But hold on a minute, I need to get some water. Don't forget to hit the like button because I'm going to finish in about 10 minutes. I'll tell you why I know that. Oh, somebody keeps deleting messages. I'll tell you. Oh, sometimes YouTube will delete your message if there's a swear word. Because I had so many trolls, I've set my comments to delete anything that has a swear word. So if you want to make a comment, please don't let there be any swear words, yeah, because it won't. It will delete it. So just do your normal talking without swearing, but feel free to agree with me or disagree with me. Between 2015 and 2016, allegedly, so we don't get sued, right? So I think that Meghan is spoiled because I'm going on what I'm agreeing with you. Look, listen, this happens a lot in interracial couples, right? Most interracial couples, like obviously Meghan's dad is white and Meghan's mom is black or mixed. they tend to idolize their babies because the babies are really very beautiful babies, right? So most of my friends who I know who have mixed biracial children idolize the children because the children are really like pretty. They get the best of being black and the best of being white. Mix it together and they become caramel colored and like they're so cute, right? They're cute in a different kind of way. So I think that her dad, and plus she was a girl, right? I think her dad probably idolized her a little bit because there's so many pictures of him and her. And of course, Doria is West Indian, and I know that West Indian idolizes their mixed race children because there's this colorism thing going on. So the more light skin you are, the more you're going to be adored and all that kind of stuff, right? So she grew up being idolized, and she didn't have to do much to win. Like she did, she got basically whatever she wanted. And I think that's what's made her into the narcissist that she is. So now she cannot manage to actually do anything or to operate where she is not the center of attention. And even though Harry is the one being interviewed, she is the center of attention because she's the one coaching him on what to say. So in her mind, she knows what she's doing, is what I'm trying to say. She knows what she's doing. So going back to Thomas Markle, anyway, let's see. My predictions is they probably will never speak to him until he passes away. That's my sad prediction. I don't think Meghan is going to change her mind and go back and make peace with her dad. So I don't think, and God forbid when that day comes, I pray we are all alive and well, but we'll talk about it. I have a feeling that she's not going to do it. I also have a feeling that she's going to drive Harry up the wall to the point where he may do something catastrophic. I hope not, because we love him and we don't want anybody to have bad outcomes. I wish this was not happening, but it is happening. We're watching it. It's like a live horror movie that we're all watching. And it's a horror for everybody involved. It's a horror for me. It's a horror for you. It's a horror for the people who like Meghan and Harry. It's a horror for the people who don't like Meghan and Harry. It's a horror for Meghan and Harry. It's a horror for the royal family. It's a horror for Thomas Markle. It's just one big horrific horror film playing out in front of us, except it's not a film. It's real life. It's really happening. Whoa! It's really happening. The Queen's grandson that we all saw her raise all these years is really doing videos saying that they're bad people. Hi, Amanda. Hi. We're just almost rounding up. I was just saying the Harry and Meghan thing is like a horror story that's been going on for 3 years. And it's getting more and more horrific by the day. And Oprah is the enabler because now they're making films about it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you imagine in 10 years' time or 20 years' time, when those children grow up, they're going to have access to watch a video of their father saying all these horrible things about their grandmother and their grandfather and their uncles and aunties. Oh, thanks, Amanda. Can you imagine everybody's going to watch this? We're going to watch all of this back. Even when Wallace Simpson and the king abdicated, because this has happened before, where the king abdicated for Wallace Simpson, who was also an American actress. What's it with all these American actresses and the royal family? Well, what's her name? Grace Kelly was an American actress and she was brilliant. She married the guy from Monaco, and she didn't cause any scandal. So no, it's not an American actress thing. It was just coincidental. But when Wallace and the king abdicated and left the country, because this has happened before in England, they didn't go and start making interviews to say bad things about the queen or the country. Dimitri said, my boy Harry needs to wake up. It seems like Meghan is a serial gaslighter. Yeah, narcissist is all I'll say. Narcissist. Now, whether she's doing it intentionally or not, I think she's intentionally controlling him, but I think it's like a runaway train. Now it's a train wreck and she doesn't know where it's going to end and she doesn't know how to manage it. I think it's, does she, somebody wrote somewhere online that she wants to be a widow or a very happy divorcee, a very rich divorcee after she uses and dumps him, or she's going to end up as a very rich widow. People are saying all sorts of crazy things online about them. And the sad part is it's not a movie. We're not watching Pride and Prejudice 2001, where there's going to be an end on the set and everybody's going to go back to their real life because it was all a game. This is really happening. This is real life playing out in front of us. And they're recording it on television and doing therapy on television. And being Iyanla Van Zans, Oprah is trying to be the new Iyanla on her network by getting the Queen's grandson a whole. This girl, Meghan, has literally turned the prince into a frog. A whole prince on television doing therapy, saying terrible things about his own family. Meghan seems like that ex that looking back you hate her, but when you were with her, I loved her when she came. When I have a live on my YouTube, on my Facebook page that I did on the day they got married, I was drinking champagne. I was so happy. I was so happy. When they got married, little did I know the horror that was coming ahead. We were all so happy. I cried. When I saw Harry and William. I was sitting in this kitchen. I was shedding tears. I'm like, oh, look at Diana's boys. They look so cute in their uniform and they were walking together. I was like, oh, look at Diana's boy. And then when Meghan came in a beautiful dress, I was like, oh my God, look at how beautiful she is. The first Black woman, even though she's not fully Black, but at least she has some Black in her. Oh, I was like, I love you, Meghan. I was here like clapping, and you know how I am when I'm watching anything royal. I was clapping and I was drinking champagne, and whew, all my viewers on Facebook were probably very angry with me because I was behaving like a kid, as if she was my sister or I was her mother. I was behaving as if they were my family. But they are my family emotionally because I really like the royal family. And the reason why I talk about Harry and Meghan now is because I actually see them as family as well, in a way. And you know how you feel when a member of your family is acting in a very terrible way, and you know it, and you're trying to make them stop, but they won't. But you can tell that it's going to lead them to some really bad destruction. And so you have to try and tell them, stop doing this, it's going to lead to your destruction. And they keep going, and you don't know what to do. That's how I feel. Somebody was saying, man, why did they break up again? Going through the horror. Don't flash back. Yeah. No, don't bother flashing back. Just keep moving. At least you rescued yourself from the situation. So to close, Harry and Meghan, please let Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, see his children, his grandchildren. Please let him see them.
Is going to, do more damage than good for them.
Hello, I'm Tom.
Yep, there you go. So please let him see his grandchildren. But I don't think he will. I don't think they will. let's keep watching, guys. Let's see what's going to happen. And I'm going to go to bed. I'm really upset that they've done this to him. But it is what it is. He's not innocent completely, but nobody's ever innocent of anything. I'm not innocent. We've all done one or two bad things in our life. You know, we've all told a secret that we're not supposed to tell, or he spoke to a photographer. But is it really that big a problem that he did that you're now paying him back with total, absolute silence? And that's fierce. Amanda, can you ever just, I don't know if your dad is still alive, but can you just cut off your mom and or dad like that? Harry has even cut off his own brother. Hey, God, the more I think about it, the more outrageous and unbelievable it is to me. It's like, is it really happening? Like, is Harry really never wanting to speak to William anymore when they were so close? He doesn't want to speak to William anymore. He doesn't want to speak to his own dad. Oh my God. He doesn't want to speak to his own dad anymore. He doesn't want to see the Queen before she passes away. He doesn't want to have a good relationship with his grandmother. She's old already. This is not the time to be cutting people off. The old people. Yeah, it's so cold. And it's because Meghan told him all this stuff. Amanda, do you really think Harry's in his real mind? Type it. Do you really think, does anybody really think that Harry's in his real mind? You know, he doesn't like England anymore. All the friends he went to boarding school with, all his lovely friends. Let me show you pictures of Harry and his friends. Oh my God, he has cut everybody off. Harry's friends growing up. Look, these are he had friends. Oh wow. Look, I'll show you in a minute. Look, these were his beautiful, lovely friends that he grew up with. Dimitri says, I think Meghan hates Harry. Somebody had that, somebody said that. So somebody said, I do. He said it for over 20 years. Yeah. Somebody said, I think Meghan hates Harry. Somebody else said that they think Meghan hates Harry, that she's just using him and that she's just going to dump him. And, she's made him weak and she probably doesn't give him sex and blah, blah, blah. Somebody actually said that on one of the YouTube channels. I can't remember which channel it was, that you don't treat somebody you love in this way. You don't cut them off. You just basically, narcissists cannot love another person. They love themselves. So Harry said he hated London for a very long time. Did he say that before or after Meghan, CP? Oh, he did? CP says he said it for over 20 years. Oh, really? He said it before Meghan, that he hates London. I never knew that. I never heard him say that before. Maybe because of the press? Why did he hate London? Because I don't like London. I don't live in London. Because of the press. That's interesting. I never heard him say that before. But basically, yeah, because of the press. Okay. I can understand that because you remember they were shielded from the press for a very long time. Look, this is Harry with the Queen and some of his close friends. So basically, he's been cut off from all these people. That's him there with his support system and the friends. Yeah, with the friends he grew up with. That's him with William, his brother. Do they not look happy? Can you not see them all smiling? These are supposedly the people that are now all wicked and horrible people. That's not me trolling, said Dimitri. I'm trying to get into Megan's head. I know you're not trolling. Even I'm trying to get into Megan's head to understand. These are his friends. So none of these people have access to Harry anymore. This is an article about all Harry's friends, yeah? None of these people have access. Oh my God, this is the Harry we knew. Amanda, isn't this the Harry we knew pre-Meghan? Always smiling, always happy. Dimitri said she holds him in contempt in her eyes. I believe that, and somebody else has done a YouTube video. The lady is a psychologist. I can't remember her name. She's a psychologist, and she actually says that Meghan is behaving like somebody who hates Harry, who despises him, and as Dimitris is saying, who holds him in contempt. Oh, he didn't say they were horrible, his friends. No, he's not saying his friends are horrible, but he's saying that he was treated badly by his father and the Queen, that she wasn't supportive when his mother died. He said that on the Oprah interview. Harry said the Queen was not supportive of him when his mother died. Why would you say that about a 96-year-old woman? He didn't say he was horrible. He's given over 5 interviews on his daughter over the past 4 years. Well, what? And so why not? You're saying that Meghan Markle has given 5 interviews, yeah, and so what? He's never said anything that's not true per se. He's never said anything that's so nastily damaging. And even if he's been paid, so what? Harry and Meghan are being paid. Harry and Meghan are being paid for their interviews. So him being paid for the interview is not a bad thing. The guy's had a heart attack. He's probably he said that none of the men in his family go past their 80s and he's 76. He deserves, look, unless you are a mass murderer or a P, the people that mess about with children, I don't want to say it on my channel because I don't want the algorithm to go crazy. Or unless you're R, those people that mess about with women and some men get out too. Or unless you're like, physically abusive, whatever, in a mean way. Little things like, oh, you just spoke to the press when I didn't have you without permission. And it's not like he spoke to the press and said, Meghan is a bad person. So what the thing he said to the press was not damaging. He was just saying that I'm preparing to go to the wedding. And then he was trying to, like, I don't think I'm seeing him clearly. I'm seeing him very clearly. I'm seeing Thomas Markle very clearly. And I'm seeing Meghan very clearly, my darling. Okay? The only 2 people who are constant in their accusation of everybody else is Harry and Meghan. Thomas is a bad person, according to them. Her sister, Thomas's daughter, is a bad person, according to them. The brother is a bad person, according to them. The Queen is a bad person. Prince Charles is a bad person. William is a bad person. Catherine is a bad person because apparently Catherine made her cry. Press are bad people. The Archbishop of Canterbury married them secretly, which didn't really happen. And everybody who's saying anything bad about them is a bad person. But they're the only good people. It doesn't make sense. Have you ever heard them say anything that they did wrong? Ever? Okay, you might say, oh, the Queen is a bad person, but okay, I didn't help. I did this little thing wrong, but I didn't mean to. Maybe that's why they behaved in this way. They have never presented themselves as having any kind of fault. And we know that that's not correct. Samantha called, yeah, be careful with the words you use because the YouTube flags up any swear words. I'll allow this one. So Samantha called Megan a WHORE and said she didn't even have the kids. No, of course she had the kids. It's on the Harry said that the Queen, when I say horrible, I'm just using that word. He didn't actually use the word horrible. I'm just being dramatic, but he said that the Queen was not supportive when his mother died. And go and watch the Oprah program. But of course, you're going to have to pay to watch it because Oprah needs to make her money. But it's been reported. It's been reported. No, she had the kids. That's just as nonsense. Of course, she had the kids. He never said that. Well, it's been reported. It's right there on camera. Samantha called me. They would. So, in your view, CP, tell me who you think the villains are. So, you think the royal family are the villains, and Harry and Meghan have really been. Come down. You want to come down? Are you trying to come downstairs? All right, my darling. Yeah. No. So tell me who you think is bad. If not Harry and Meghan. The press is bad. Well, the press just report. The press can be bad. I believe that the English were horrible to Meghan. Maybe that's why Meghan's doing all this. You think the English were horrible to her? How? Because when she came, they make money off. Yeah, the press make money off everybody. That's just the nature of that beast. The press makes money off everybody, and they can be quite ruthless. You know, they gave them privacy when they were young because the government told the press to leave them alone after Diana died for many years, which they did. But now that they're grown up and they got married, yeah, they want to report on it. They called her ghetto. Some people did, but some people also wrote good things about her. But they do that to everybody. She's not special. You know, they call Catherine good things sometimes, and sometimes they call her too thin. They call her a social climber, Catherine. They called her a social climber. You know, they call everything. The guy that called Meghan's child a monkey got fired. That was out of order. But press people are usually fired when they say bad things that are out of line anyway. They've done it to other people. It's just the nature of the beast. And if you're somebody, I'm not saying it's okay, he was fired. I'm not saying it's okay, but I'm just saying that when you're in the public eye, you know the nature of the beast that you're dealing with, which is the press, especially the British press. In America, there's even more freedom of speech where they can say anything about you. He got rehired in 2 weeks. I don't know anything about that, but that's not the point here. The point we're trying to make here is how Meghan is a narcissist who has brainwashed Harry into saying a lot of horrible things about his grandparents. She needs to go and let the grandchildren see their grandfather, Thomas Markle. Thomas Markle has not done anything that is so bad to the point where he should be prevented from seeing his grandchildren, period, is all I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying about that. He's never seen the grandchildren. So he needs to see them. I'm somebody who is family oriented. And so I would never support anybody who cuts off their family members. Yeah, distant family members, fine. But I will never support anybody who cuts off their father or their mother. I would never support that. Yeah? I would never support that. under any circumstances. I'm just doing some research here to validate something somebody's saying. I'm just doing a bit of research to see if I can validate what you're saying. Yeah, there's nothing here saying that he doesn't have contact with his other grandchildren. There's nothing here at all saying that he doesn't have contact with his other grandchildren. So I'm not going to accept that submission unless you can put under the description box where you got your information from. Yeah, put in the description box all the information you have with the receipts. Yeah. So going back to what we know and what we have receipts for, because we've got receipts of Thomas Markle here. Pictures of him and Meghan as children, as when she was a child, and all the wonderful things that he did for her. Okay, if he was a mean guy, she won't be leaning on him like that in this picture here. If he was a horrible father, she won't be looking so happy in that picture. Okay, pictures, I'm so glad pictures don't lie. If he was a mean father, she won't be leaning on him here. If he was a mean father. If he was a mean father, she won't be leaning on him here. He was a mean father. If he was a mean father, she wouldn't have this beautiful looking smile here. And they all look very happy. He took her to acting classes. Oh my God, my father is so mean. Look at how beautiful and big and happy I look. But my father is so mean. That's her there smiling. Almost all the pictures, she's leaning into him. But all of a sudden, he's this big, horrible, mean monster. Right? Look at this. There's hundreds of pictures. Look. That's her as a baby. That's her there. But yet he's supposed to be this monster. I don't buy that nonsense. He's not a monster. And nobody can convince me that he is. Right. That's her as a baby. Hello, what other receipts do we need? That's her smiling happily. God, you'll see the whole thing. Yeah. So we're gonna end now. Thanks for all your comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't be horrible to your parents, whoever is watching. If your parents have done something that you don't like, just give them a call and get it off your chest and say, look, mom, dad, this is what you did. I'm not happy about it. I really hold a lot of resentment against you for this thing that you've done. But can we talk about it, and can we try and repair the relationship and hopefully move forward? Doesn't mean that we have to see each other every day or we have to be in each other's pockets, but at least we deserve to maintain the relationship, even if it's for one phone call a month, and then one visit a year. But we deserve to maintain some kind of relationship, where I can send you pictures of your grandchildren, or you can talk to them on FaceTime, even if you don't want to go there all the time or want him to come around them, but allow him to see them on FaceTime. So if you have those kind of problems with your parents, I don't think it's something you should allow to die as a problem. I think it's something that you should repair. It's a relationship you can repair And it's still possible to love people from afar. If you had a really narcissistic parent, you can still say, okay, I forgive you, love them from afar, but send them letters occasionally and send them pictures of their grandchildren occasionally. So their rates of contact, from complete contact to managed contact to in-person contact, but to just blank, coldly ice them out with no word, even if everything CP is saying is true and he's a horrible person in that way, to totally blank somebody out is ice cold. And for people who are preaching about compassion, oh, we like mental health, and we believe in mental health, and we believe in compassion, and we believe in helping people, and you're cutting off all your family, it's kind of incongruent. You're on the one hand saying you're compassionate and you love people, but on the other hand, you're cutting off your whole family. So the two don't go together. Is what I'm saying, guys. Do you like my dress? So today I'm wearing a maxi dress. Do you like my dress? Woo! So I bought this dress in I think I bought this dress in the West Indies. Actually, I bought this dress in was it Aruba or was it Bonaire? I bought this dress in Aruba. In Aruba when I went for my Caribbean cruise, just before lockdown. We came back March. We came back March 2019. When did lockdown start? 2020, right? Oh, excuse me, I almost swore. I've lost track of time. We've been indoors for so long. When did lockdown start? 2020. I bought this in March 2020. Yeah, I bought this in March last year in Aruba. All right, so somebody is saying Megan speaks to this. Thomas didn't go to any of his kids or grandkids' wedding. Oh, that's just talk, because there are pictures of him in her wedding, first wedding as well. So anyway, I love you, CP, but I don't know where you're getting all your information from. I'm only speaking the information that I've seen and that I verified. So I'm gonna leave you guys. Have a good evening. Have a good evening. Share. CP, speak to you. Thanks, guys. We need some more likes. Like. Speak to you later. Bye.